one of the reasons why I think this partnership is really great and why Emory has been able to take advantage of this platform is that at the university we oversee, at the business school, 5 different MBA programs. And so with 5 different children to take care of, everybody wants to have a little bit different messaging, but nobody has any more money to add to the pot. So the ability for our creative to be different, for it to be distinctive, and for it to speak to specific audiences without tripling the cost and being able to have extreme times really does make us much more differentiated than our competitors. What you'll see here is one of our more recent ad campaigns. With the Ad Ready tool, when we work in this platform, I can make these various sizes. So as I mentioned, I make a 300 by 250. I got excited if I made a leaderboard. And then I had a skyscraper. I thought I was really doing something. But wanting to make sure we took full advantage of it, we said, well, what can we do with this that we know? What do we know works about this ad that we can translate into other places? So we put these out in the market and ended up with a complement suite where if you look at this, I say that to people all the time, they're cousins, right? They look familiar enough. The ads build on one another. You can tell they're related, without me having to do much more than tweak certain things in the tool, 5, 10, 15 minutes of making sure I adjust where's the wording, where's my call to action, what am I expecting to make sure they take away. I now have a suite of ads where in the past I would only have had a single 300 by 250. And this was really our ability to tailor and make sure that each one of the children sort of got their message out there. If you see up here, this is one of our earlier ads. We do our champion challenger campaigns when we do concept testing. Very basic ad. So we ran this against what you see on the right, which is a series of ads that were more person-focused. Business schools have moved towards showing people this could be you, right? So we started running a series of ads of this could be you and found out that people way liked seeing a human rather than just reading words when it came to the business school space. So we were really excited and thought, we've got a winner here. But let's test and see if maybe we're not necessarily at a level of granularity yet. So we ran this ad against a different ad. What we found was Matt won in New York City because he's an iBanker, right? David won in the rest of the Northeast and the entire West Coast. Largely, the difference there, the only thing different in that creative, other than they're 2 different guys, was the idea of the names, right? So that was enough level of granularity to see that that distinction mattered to our audience. They wanted to see the student more than they wanted to see the output, which was exactly against what we had initially thought. So we figured we got 2 decent-looking guys. We should probably try to run a lady. So you see Megan up here. So Megan's ad ran, she did not unseat the guys in New York and the Northeast, but she did win the South and the Midwest. And so we thought we might need to run another lady against that to see if that was different. Was there any distinctions? Megan still won, but she won in the South this time as opposed to in the Midwest. And Brandy won in the Midwest. So it really told us a lot more than we would have normally expected to get. And there is no way we could have guessed at that level of nuance what that would mean.
We're going to show you a little bit about how the tool works. So I think we'll click through this. This is an ad that was designed originally for Easter that we're going to make some modifications on. It's very simple. There's a template that was already in the system for this Easter campaign. You go in and literally with the click of a few buttons, put in your new headline, new copy, new offer, whatever it might be, and you have created a new ad. Then the next button, and literally the push of a button, immediately proliferates all of the ad sizes that you may want to use. So you see here multiple display ad sizes. This can work for mobile. What's also happening behind the scenes is that these ad sizes are both static and animated, which allows you access to inventory, different forms of inventory where you have to take advantage of that. And this was all done with the click of a button. And each of these ads is very easily edited if need to be per size.
So if you're like me, when I first saw the tool and I saw how easy it was to use, I was excited to run back and tell everybody about it. And then I realized I could get tons of brownie points to make it look like I had actually learned how to use really difficult technology if I locked myself in my office and acted like it took me all day to do this. So no one in my office knows that this is really this easy to do.
We're
so
taping this.
Don't go back and tell them. But it really is it really does make the process so easy that it is almost foolish for you to not take advantage of it. So this is data specific from our campaigns. If you look at the information on the left, that's breakdown by ad sizes. Almost 10% of our ad impressions this year or this past year came from non-traditional sizes, which doesn't sound like an enormous amount, but prior to that, I wouldn't have had any opportunity to bid on those 10%, right? I wouldn't have an ad created to be able to even participate in that space. But if you look on the right, what you'll see is my non-traditional sizes were roughly 7% of my spend, but 13% of my clicks. So again, before I was never in this place, never planning to even realize that these ads could be effective for me, and it's driving my click-through rate up almost 50% while driving down my costs 24%. Right? So just by using a tool that automatically iterated all of the sizes that I could possibly need to use and make sure that they were animated and being able to sort of easily be served, I was making all of my advertising campaign more effective. This is not because it's customized. This is not because I've tailored the message. This is simply by using the sizing differently. You layer on top of that a more targeted message. You layer on top of that a more time-sensitive communication, and now you're continuing to drive up that efficiency to the point where your advertising can really have a great difference for you. The effectiveness that results from the programmatic creative was huge for us. Our advertising season is the same as the recruiting season, so we look at 6-month time frames, July to December, year over year. And our performance increased dramatically in the 2 areas or spaces you'd want the most in about a year. We judge interest, right? So with the number of clicks that come, we consider how much more compelling does my brand get. So I'm up 195% in terms of how compelling my brand is, how much more people want to click and find out about that. And I can't convert every single one of those new people to do something. I mean, I would like to, but I probably won't. But being able to convert 43% of them to give me their information, in my world, your information and your interest, your expressed interest, is a 6-figure expressed interest. So everything that I can do to have more individuals understand the brand and see how it fits into what they're looking for is immensely valuable. And being able to use a tool to do that basically reduces the cost that I'm looking at and makes me immensely efficient. On the other side, I'm driving down my costs, right? So in a year, my costs are down 58% and my performance is up 300%. Right? So I told Jeff, I'm just going to use this slide for my annual performance review, and I'll just change the numbers each time because it makes me look like a genius. But largely, the effectiveness and the efficiency that display advertising can deliver you, if you tweak it enough, can really tell a great story, right? So we are looking forward to and excited about the ability to continue to tweak that. How does the next iteration get us even further down the process? But we already know we're largely more efficient than our competition, mainly by using a different tool, not a different message or being a different school or offering some discount. It's based on how we are doing our advertising.
So in closing, and I want to say it's been wonderful to have Angela be here to share with you real-world results about how this works. It's always a pleasure to have a client who's been a long-time client be so willing to share information that supports what we know our tool can do.